Possible shutdown. We're joined by our political analyst, Brian Sobel. Brian, their job is to come up with a solution. Their job is to compromise. And by not doing that, they've already extended this deadline several times, by not doing that, they're affecting real people.
Absolutely. And you wonder why, or you don't wonder why, the people of the United States have a very low opinion of both the president, it's historic lows, by the way, and Congress. It's sort of the American people saying a pox on both your houses because you can't get into a room and fix this.
And it's interesting because we just keep talking about extensions, and
yes.
I think a 5-day CR, or continued resolution, was kind of put on the table today. President Trump tweeted just a short time ago a 4-week extension would be best. I mean, how long can we continue to just kick the can down before making a decision on a spending plan?
Well, this is the question. I mean, you have Republicans who have a set number of things they want to see come out of this. You have Democrats who really want to see DACA taken care of, and so you've got the Brinksmanship. That's that's what's going on right now, and we're going to see where it goes as we approach midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, we're just a couple of hours away. Let's put up a quote here from Donald Trump. Back in 2013, when the government shut down, he said, well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. The problems start at the top, and they have to get solved from the top. And the president is the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead. In fairness, he did speak with Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer today, but there are only a couple of hours left. He didn't speak with him yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that. I don't understand why they can't get all the leaders to go into a room and say, do not come out of this room until you have a deal.
Washington right now is just filled with people posturing as opposed to doing work, and the anger that's heaped on Washington right now is deserved. 3 continuing resolutions, moving on to a 4th continuing resolution. If it's 5 days, if it's a month, it's not solving the problem. And to your point, Frank, yes, I think the leaders ought to be held accountable, including the president, for getting in a room and solving it, and not coming out, frankly, until they do get it done.
Brian, we are just getting word that the Senate is going to vote on this possible compromise coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. They need 60 votes. That's going to be very difficult. Do you think that they will get them?
Well, I would think that they've done some counting. I don't know that they'd bring it out, for a floor vote unless they thought they had the numbers. There are some Democrats who are willing to cross the aisle to do a continuing resolution. Another one.
And you talked about DACA. You know, a lot of Democrats have said no DACA, no deal. Republicans who actually do want to keep Dreamers in the United States. Let's talk about this later. Let's focus on this and avert a government shutdown, and we'll talk about the Dreamers and immigration later. But is it really in the best interest for Democrats to back down or to hold their ground?
Well, it depends on if the deal is explicit around DACA, where that is going to be a key component of a future vote. Legislation and language has not even been written about how you deal with the DACA situation. And so all the posturing isn't getting anything written or finished, and that's really the problem here.
Sometimes it feels, Brian, like all you see are Democrats blaming Republicans, Republicans blaming Democrats. And we had Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi yesterday talking about you have to be blunt, dog poop, and if you put a candle on it and call it a chocolate sundae. She was saying that's what Republicans are doing. My gosh, has it really come to that?
Well, sadly, these leaders, these well-known people in Congress are really going at it. And Frank, I don't think you advance your argument by any sort of rhetoric on both sides of the aisle, because it's both sides of the aisle who are not getting this job done. And too much posturing, too much winning at all costs, not getting the people's business taken care of. And we're demanding that, and that's why, going back to the top of our discussion, why their poll ratings are so low.
And again, real people are affected by this. This isn't some esoteric argument. These are real people who are being affected by this lack of decision.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that maybe 1 million government workers in the first couple of days will start losing their paychecks. This is unconscionable
and for people living
behavior.
Paycheck to paycheck, that's a big deal.
It's huge, and it's not just government workers, it's people throughout the system.
So much more to discuss.
Absolutely.
And Brian Sobel will be joining Frank and Julie at 5 o'clock tonight, so we'll be sure to continue those discussions then.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
You're
Brian.
very welcome.